Hey y'all! Episodes 11 and 12 of the Freedom Savage podcast are a part of a multi-part special where the main discussion topics of both episodes will be tied to the topic of human depravity. We are going to get into some things, so sit back, relax, grab a snack, and enjoy episode 11, The Battle of the Species, Part 1.
I wanna hear your thoughts, I wanna hear your sound. And mama always told me to shout and speak my mind out loud. Come on and talk when you got the time. Freedom, want you on the line. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Let your voice shine. Platform yours is not just mine. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Douglas, or you could call me Freedom. Welcome back to my channel. This is episode 11 of my podcast. Before we get started, make sure that you guys like this video, comment below this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel because you need me. As I say always, forgive my background. The cars, my brother. We got a lot of stuff to get into. Let's get started. All right, you guys, so we are in freedom of speech. I have a very special guest with me. You guys didn't see her last season, but you heard her voice. This is one of my best friends, Simone. Simone, introduce yourself, give your pronouns, and just tell a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hi, I am Simone. I go by Moni with my friends and my family. My pronouns are she, her. I am currently an English student. I just finished my sophomore year, so I'll be a junior in August. I am a big movie buff, a book buff, and a really big, what's the word? I don't know. I don't take bullshit. I guess that's the word I want to use.
You don't take bullshit at all. I don't take bullshit. He's one of my most confrontational friends I got, okay? But anyway, speaking of college, how was it? Because I know that you and your sister, shout out to Jasmine. She couldn't be here this time, but hopefully you guys will be able to see Jasmine's face at some point, but shout out to her. I know that you guys had a very, very, very like adventurous year of college. So I kind of wanted you to kind of like get into that, basically just share your college experience. You don't have to say your college's name or nothing like that, but you know, just briefly tell me about your college experience, because I know a lot of bullshit happened this year.
I think that with my personal college experience, because it's like, you know, what my freshman year, I attended a community college, but within American society, it's always like, oh, you want to go to a real college. You want to go to like a big campus, like, you know, my college or like Berkeley or something like that. So like my first month there, I did feel a little out of place because, you know, Brooklyn's my home. I felt really in place being in Brooklyn and I missed all my friends and my family. But, you know, then I got into the swing of things and I really enjoyed being up there. The weather is every single day. It's cloudy, it's rainy, it's disgusting, it's gross. But like I liked being up there, you know what I mean? Like it was a lot to do. There was like a mall on my campus. I would go to the movies, I would go to the Dollar Tree, you know, whatever. And like I liked most of them. I liked my professors, I liked my assignments, you know what I mean? As an English major, it is a lot of reading, but I like to read. So it was like not as difficult as I was expecting. But I will say that my school is very much one of those like party schools, and I don't party. But it's just like every Friday, it would be something where it's like I hear people outside and I'm like, I'm trying to sleep. You know what I mean? Or somebody smoking weed. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. I'm trying to sleep. You know what I mean?
And it's sad because I feel like I'm one of those party people. Like, you know, like
right,
I feel like I was one of those.
Are occasionally fun. You know what I mean? But like, I don't want to go to one. I don't understand people that go to one every single weekend. Because like there were weekends where I was like, I cannot do anything else but study. I cannot do anything else but write my essays.
I said, that's because you're taking your work seriously.
Exactly.
As you should, to be honest. Because I know that school was always like an annoying thing for you, but you always seem to have your head in the books. So
I feel
I'm
like
not surprised.
Like people are so annoying when it comes to grades. Like ever since like we were kids, it was like in middle school. Oh, high school's going to look at these grades. And then you're in high school. Oh, college is going to look at these grades. And now you're in college. It's like, oh, you want to keep your grades up to stay here or like keep your grades up for a job. Well, to be honest, maybe middle school, I'm gonna lie, I was a little lazy. But like to be honest, after college and when I finished college, I feel like the jobs I'm gonna apply for, they're not gonna look at my grades. They're gonna look that I graduated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, have your diplomas, make sure you have the skills that they want for you to actually apply
And
yourself.
I'm not trying to sit here and say like, oh, you should be a C student, do the bare minimum. I'm not saying that, but I'm more just saying that it's like grades should not be your main focus and be something that you should be hammering into your head where it's like, if you get a B, you should fucking cry about it. No, like B's are fine. A C every once in a while is fine because not everybody's going to understand math or statistics or not everybody's an English student like I am.
You could have had told me that in high school because in high school, I was very adamant and I was a straight A student like since first grade. So I got like B's and stuff here and there, but I never got lower than a B. And it was because I was kind of like drilling myself to make sure I didn't get that low of a grade. Like it wasn't one of those things where my parents were hounding in on me. Once my mom saw that I had this continuous pattern of getting straight A's, she kind of left me alone because she knew no matter how hard the class was, I was going to end up passing it some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? So
right.
I never had those parents. I was like, get it. You know what I mean? Like my mom definitely gave me like free reign to like, yeah, but what you
not to name names, but you know.
I know. But it's just no, like, you know, my mom just always kind of gave me like free reign when it came to school because I always did well. But I totally understand. I mean, I damn sure don't look at somebody's full potential through their grades that they get.
That's what I think it is. Like people always assume that as like, oh, you're a C student, so you're a bad person. No, it's just like some people are just never going to be good at math or science or English or X, Y, and Z. However, they're probably good at other things. Like, have you seen their potential with building things? Or like they're a great choreographer or singer or writer, X, Y, and Z. Like, it's like academics in itself is just this like annoying little bubble that we try to put people into. And it's like academics is all you should ever think about before you thrust them into the real world and they realize it doesn't matter depending on their field.
Yeah. I mean, okay, like when I was younger, I was told that math and science was everywhere, right? And it is. And I'm not saying that you should not know certain things outside of your field, because I do feel like it is important to be well-rounded enough. And I think that's also kind of college's goal when they give you like different subjects. It's so that you could be well-rounded enough to, you know, apply yourself to different things if need be, because this world will offer you like all types of different, you know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, again, your full potential is not destined by whether or not you pass the statistics class if your major is dancing or
exactly
opera. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. So I understand exactly what you mean. But what I did want you to get into was the real tea and juice of the matter, because y'all had a protest in y'all school. And I want to know what that was about.
Here's a tea, sis. Okay. So my school, who, when I visited and whenever they have anything, loves to say, we are LGBTQ friendly, Black friendly, X, Y, and Z friendly. You know, in the campus center where everybody goes to get food or something, they have a big office for like the LGBTQ Alliance where people can come in and chat, you know what I mean, and just hang out. So my school, I think this was in maybe March, but I'll look it up. Maybe March, early April. My school decided to invite someone from Turning Point USA, you know, one of those conservative, anti-trans, anti-anything companies. And the rhetoric is like absolutely disgusting, the way that they describe like trans people, LGBTQ people. They invited someone from Turning Point USA to give a speech at our school, which, why the would you do that? And now to give two sides of the argument was like, oh, you can't only have one person give their opinion in speech, which like, I agree, like everybody should have their platform, no matter if they are conservative or liberal. I agree on that. The difference is one is hate speech and one is regular speech. And the speech they were giving was hate speech. You know what I mean? Because I there are some Republicans that I like who aren't hateful. Turning Point USA, hateful. That's hate speech. Then you lose all respect from me and everybody else in my damn school. So they invited someone from Turning Point USA to give a speech, and it was anti-trans speech.
Dumbasses.
My school is predominantly LGBTQ and Black. It's obvious. If you look at the school, it's obvious. So there was a counter protest where the day of the protest, a bunch of people like came to the campus center. There's a transfer lounge above it to like discuss, and then there was like a counter protest, like, we don't want transphobes on our school. We don't want that speech here. You know what I mean? You guys are disgusting for having these people come to our school after you say and outright say that the school is a safe place for LGBTQ students. This does not make us feel safe. So the protest was met with campus police. And from what I know, 2 students got arrested, and one of those 2 students ended up getting hurt. I think they hurt their leg, but I could be wrong. It was this really big thing in the school. And it was like, why the fuck would you even invite someone like that? But there, it gets better. So like a few days after like this happened, everybody at the school gets like this mass email explaining. And it was just the meat of the email was that the school doesn't tolerate like not allowing someone to like speak. They're saying like everybody has a right to free speech, and it's not right to protest and disrupt someone else's celebration, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, okay, don't hide behind free speech. There's hate speech and free speech. And what the speech was hate speech. And it's like, why do I give a f-? You know what I mean? You actively gave a platform to transphobes, to a transphobic company. I think it's a company, but I could be wrong. You actively gave them a platform, and you looked at the students who were like, you're stupid. And we're like, we're not stupid because Second Amendment, dumbass, right to free speech.
But to me, that's like bringing Hitler to a Jewish school. Like, what are you doing?
Like, I'm not like, listen, conservatives can have their like platforms. Doesn't mean I have to listen to them. It's different when the school who built their platform on LGBTQ students gives that conservative transphobe a platform and expects the students to be like, oh yeah, sure, fun. You know what I mean? Because the rhetoric that they use is that trans people are disgusting and child abusers, and they're after your children, and that they want to rape your children, and that they're disgusting. You know what I mean?
But these schools of our schools aren't.
That's what I'm saying. That's not what you should be portraying at a college. You know what I mean? At a college. Like, we're like most of us, we're adults. Okay. If you're trans, you're trans. But why would you invite someone like that to build the platform off of LGBTQ students? Like, f you.
Yeah. When I heard about that, I didn't understand the point in doing that. I was like, do y'all school just wanna gain controversy?
Do they want attention? Because I'm already giving them so much money. Do they want my attention too?
I genuinely do not understand the point in doing something like that at all. And it's like, you can't be surprised when a riot happens. I mean, you guys are supplying wood and starting a fire. It wasn't even a fire to begin with.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Not even like a few weeks later, like a few weeks after my birthday, my school invited anti-abortion people to come speak.
Oh, please.
At the podium. And so, anti-abortion people, they're stupid because their rhetoric makes no sense. But they brought like a TV screen, and they had like pictures of like fetuses and stuff, like pictures, like triggering pictures. You know what I mean? So people are like, obviously people are going to go and be like, what the f are you talking about? And people are going to go heckle them. But the TV thing was a totally different thing, because why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, imagine you're just walking around and you have like a fear of something like that. You don't know what's going on.
Like, no trigger warning whatsoever.
One of our school's professors got arrested for unplugging their TV and saying like, you.
Arrested?
Yeah, they got arrested.
Were they trying to scare people into not getting an abortion?
Yeah, that's all they ever do. It's like, oh, a baby's a gift from God, and if you're raped, you should have the baby. That's basically what they were saying. Okay, I found the article. Okay, Professor Renee Overdick. She's a sociology professor. And I will text you the article personally. But, when she got arrested, people cheered for her because we love her.
Yeah. But she couldn't return to the school.
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. But to be honest,
you never had her. She wasn't your professor.
No. But like, people knew her. But to be honest, I feel like if the school was like, oh, you can't come back, that's like bullshit. know what I mean?
Again, you guys are not only bringing wood, but starting a fire that wasn't started to be.
The thing is that we are all adults, you know what I mean? Most of us. So it's like we know about like sex and we know about things like that, and we educate ourselves about pregnancy and abortion. And so it's like the whole abortion thing is just so stupid because it's nothing but more than controlling women and controlling their bodies. You know what I mean? Because all they say is like, oh, you're babies. And it's like, it's not a baby. It's a clump of cells, it's a fetus. I have chia seeds in my water. It's the same size of a fetus. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would you come to like yell at kids to be like, oh, don't get an abortion? And also the Bible says, because also a majority of the kids at my school, while some of them practice faith, most of them are non-denominational or just don't have like a specific, you know, religion that they like to follow. So imagine like you just so happen to be like Muslim or Jewish or any other religion walking around along the quad, and you see this person using a Christian Bible to like defend their harmful rhetoric, you know what I mean? And try to be like, oh, you need to follow the Bible. You know what I mean? That's weird.
Like, and when I see people do that, I'm not gonna lie, it scares me. Like, it makes me feel really, really, really like weird. Like, it makes me feel like weird all inside, because it's like, it's how people, it's not even what they use to spew their rhetoric, it's how they're doing it, it's how they're executing it that makes it so off-putting. It's like, are you trying to persuade people or make them hate you more? Like,
exactly. Like, it's different if it's like you and I were having a conversation about abortion. It's like I was pro-abortion, you're anti, which we're both pro-abortion. But like, it'd be different if it's just you and me. These people take time out of their day. They wake up, make their coffee, get dressed, put on their ugly makeup, look ugly, to come all the way to a college campus or the middle of the street to yell at people, wasting their time in their day when they're almost 4 feet into the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're wasting your own day, and then you have the nerve to be offended when you get heckled.
Child, we discussed abortion on, I think, episode 5 of last season. I discussed it with my cousin Shay. Shout out to Shay. Moral of the story, it really should be women's business. You know what I mean?
Like, why the do men think they have a right to like tell women what to do and make laws about it? Just because you have a wife or a daughter does not mean that you are the end all be all of abortion.
But Simone, I'm scared because I feel like this country is like really going to like, okay, did you see the laws that didn't they bring back Jim Crow laws in like Mississippi or something, I think, a couple of weeks back?
Wait, that's a thing?
I'm serious. Look it up. Because, okay, that's something else that I wanted to bring up to you. There was this man, I believe he had his life taken away last year. And he expressed that, you know, he was concerned by these white men that were giving him like the bad look, whatever. He went missing and he was found unalived. And they have yet to file any charges, do anything, you know, stuff like that. But when I read in the comments of the post, there were people saying that this is actually a known thing in Mississippi. Like, the Klan and stuff is still very much out there. It's still very much prominent. So they said that Mississippi has always kind of been a hot ground for it for years, and it's never really changed. And, you know, the South as a whole is just, we could get into that, but you know, I wanted to bring it up to you because we have laws that's now banning like a lot of trans rights now, banning drag queens and clubs, stuff like that. But yet again, there's no effective ruling being made for all of these shootings that are happening. It's so easy to get a gun in this country.
They like to pick and choose, you know what I mean? For these white men who the system it's always been for them, they live in nothing but comfort, and they have never had to live with a certain struggle. These white, cis, straight men, specifically, all they see when they see minorities is an issue. It's because a lot of, according to like the census, like white people are like going to be the minority soon. You know what I mean? They're going to be the minority soon. And that's just a reality. You know, people can date whoever the fuck they want, have children whoever the fuck they want. A lot of mixed children. It's just happening. So it's all of this is what I feel like it's just them having a hissy fit. It's like, I don't want to be the minority. I don't want to not be in charge. And they whine and moan. And that's exactly what it is, because all I ever see when I see like instances of like police brutality against Black men, for example, and it will be white people specifically defending it. You know what I mean? It was like, well, why didn't he comply? Why didn't he just listen to the cop? The cop was already abusing him. You want him to comply while he's getting beaten into the ground. You know what I mean? Or it's like when people of color run for office. Like there was this Muslim woman who ran, I think she ran for governor or something. And people were telling her, specifically white, cis, straight men, were telling her she cannot be a head of office because she's Muslim. And when you are sworn in, you got to put your hand on the Bible. But that's not true. You can be whatever religion you want. You don't have to swear on the Bible. You can swear whatever you want. It could be the Quran, it could be the Bible, it could be whatever you want. So it's like all these instances are just like people are like, they are so uncomfortable with the thought of people of color being in their space. And so we as people of color have had to become comfortable with being uncomfortable in this white space. But that uncomfortability that they're about to endure, they can't handle it. Just the thought of that makes them sick. And that's why they make these laws. That's why they use this harmful rhetoric. That's why they like keep on doing what they're doing, because they cannot fathom not being the majority. They cannot fathom not being the leader.
It was something that my cousin said earlier this season about like how it's not necessarily the world that's ending. It's their world that is
exactly ending. Right.
It just goes to show how much people of color are becoming so powerful. You know, it's like there's a resurgence happening, and that's something that we also discussed earlier in the season, that there is a resurgence happening with people of color.
Exactly.
Other ethnicity.
Like you know, like those Proud Boys and the Patriot Boys and like those neo-Nazis, you know what I mean? They walk around with their big ass guns spouting Jews will not replace us, spouting racial slurs and things against other people of color. But the Black Panthers, they automatically were taken down because one, they're Black and they were deemed as a threat. But these white men can go around doing it with masks covering their face, spouting out neo-Nazi bullshit on a drag queen brunches. Like, make it make sense. You're only doing this because you're scared of not being the majority for once. But you shouldn't be scared, because we treat minorities so well in this country, don't we?
Simone, period. To be honest, yeah. But
he is hot.
I just feel like, okay, you said a lot. In 2020, I remember after George Floyd passing away, and I unfortunately had the unfortunate experience, like many others, of seeing the video.
Right.
Since 2020, there has grown this fear in me to be around cops. And it seeps into my body like really, 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 really hard, you know? I don't like walking around cops too much because I'm always afraid of what's going to happen, you know? And I always keep telling myself, I don't want to end up a hashtag. You know what I mean?
And it's sad that we have to go through that.
Live that
you know
way.
What I mean? It's sad that's what we have to think about when the police department ever spews is like, we are here to protect and serve. But time and time again, who are you really protecting and who are you really serving if so many Black men end up dead by your hands? And the majority of you end up walking free because of it. But they will be so hurt and upset that we're like, fuck pigs, fuck 12. And they're just like, but we're here to protect and serve. Really? Like, have you seen the videos too? Dumbass, are you blind? I will spew fuck pigs and bacon for the rest of my life.
I'm crying, child. But no, I just like when racists act out the way they do towards others, not only is it just blatantly disrespectful, hurtful, and stupid, but to me, it's just like, it makes you guys look ugly. It's making you look like the exact same animals you claim we are. And look, everything we're saying now is like said before, you know, heard before. Racism plays a huge role in everybody in this country, especially if you were born here. It's in us. It's like, it's nothing we could do about it. I experienced racism at 8 without even knowing what the is. And my mom never told me to discriminate against someone for how they appear, their skin color, nothing like that. My mom was always that type of person where if you don't like her, she don't like you.
Right.
No matter who the hell you are.
Your mom was. that bitch.
Like, it's just that too, you know what I mean? My mom never raised me to be that way. I always treat people with the utmost respect, and I'm probably the out of everybody that I know, and y'all even clown me for it, because I would say the entire friend group is pretty much ethnic. And I have white friends, you know, shout out to Jack, you know, but it's people like Jack that I appreciate because they're respectful. You know what I mean? Jack is one of those people who aren't people of color that is, I don't know, he's just understanding. You know what I mean? Jack is just, I could go into a whole spotlight session on Jack, but Jack is just a decent human being.
You wouldn't be friends with them if they weren't that bitch.
Okay, you know how everybody in this city jumped the turnstiles, right?
Everybody does it.
But you know, like,
you're a tourist. You are the only ones who really swipe the card.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. And here's the tea with me. I always pay. But if there's an opportunity for me to go through without paying,
you're gonna go.
Okay, then. So, you know, I was about to go and pay whatever, but the door was open and I was already short on cash. It was me, an old white lady, and a little boy. There was a woman that opened the door for us. He went through, the old lady went through, I went through. The cops stopped me and let her go. And she was going the same direction I was. And it was just like, you're about to find me, but not the old white lady that walked through.
I think you did tell me this story. Yeah.
And I remember they walked up to me because they caught my attention. They walked up to me, and the only thing I could remember was exactly what my mom said. Always comply. Do whatever you have to do to exit them safely.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's sad that we have to do that.
And I told them, you know, like, I'm just running short on cash. I am a college student. I'm so sorry. You know, like, I'm running late for class. Like, I was telling them the truth, you know, and they let me go because, you know, and I didn't really feel like those cops were like up to no good. It wasn't that type of situation, but I did find it kind of interesting how I got picked out of everybody that
else
just walked by, you know? So it goes to show you how in so many little ways, racism and just blatant stereotyping really takes a precedent when it shouldn't.
Right.
I should never be looked at a certain way because of the color of my skin, especially in 2023's America. Everybody's different now. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense anymore. It does not make sense anymore. You know what I mean? But before we get into our next topic, we do have another guest joining us. All right, you guys, we got another guest. Say hello to Nakaya again.
Hey, guys.
Nakaya, thank you so much for joining. You know, I really appreciate it. This is the second time I told you to, like, I asked if you could, like, join, and then, like, you just, like, made the effort and you showed up. We appreciate it. So now that you're here, I think that we could also segue into our next portion of the topic that also kind of has to do with racism. But I want to talk to you guys about Jordan Neely. Now, for those that haven't heard about the story, I will have a clip playing right now.
Daniel Penny, surrendering to face criminal charges in the death of homeless street performer Jordan Neely.
He did so voluntarily and with the sort of dignity and integrity that is characteristic of his history of service to this grateful nation.
The 24-year-old former Marine, seen in a widely circulated video holding Neely in a chokehold for several minutes on a New York subway on May 1st, now stands accused of second-degree manslaughter for recklessly causing his death. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office bringing the charge after numerous witness interviews, a review of photo and video footage, and discussions with the medical examiner. The prosecutor telling the court witnesses observed Neely making threats and scaring passengers. Adding Penny approached Neely from behind and placed him in the chokehold, taking him down to the ground. When the train arrived at the next stop, Penny continued to hold Neely in the chokehold for several minutes, two other men helping to restrain his arms. At some point, Mr. Neely stopped moving. The defendant continued to hold Mr. Neely for a period and then released him. Penny's lawyers argue he risked his own life and safety to protect himself and fellow New Yorkers, resulting in the unintended and unforeseen death of Mr. Neely. Adding they are confident Penny will be absolved of any wrongdoing once all the facts are known. Lawyers for the Neely family hailing Penny's arrest.
We're closer now to justice than we were a week ago because Daniel Penny has been arrested.
even as they argued he should be charged with murder.
There was no attack. Mr. Neely did not attack anyone. He did not touch anyone. He did not hit anyone. But he was choked to death. And that can't stand. That can't be what we represent.
Neely's killing sparked days of demonstrations in New York City, with protesters demanding Penny's arrest. Meanwhile, a legal defense fund set up by Penny's supporters had raised more than $400,000 by Friday afternoon.
Daniel, did you do it?
Now prosecutors must prove their case.
You know, long story short, Jordan Neal was a dancer, I think, in the subway. And he was unhoused and he had mental issues, just like many people in the subway. I came on the train, I guess, like really hyper, asking for help, begging, like they always do. You know, like many people in his place always do. They come on the train, they ask for help, they ask for food, they ask for money, whatever. He didn't do anything to anybody. But a 24-year-old white Marine thought it would be cute to put him in a more than 20-minute chokehold while two other guys held him down, which ended up taking his life. And nobody really did anything. They said in some articles that people were cheering it on. From the videos I saw, it kind of just seemed like the bystander effect. Like everybody was kind of just like standing around, just like thinking like, what is really going on? You know what I mean? But apparently the defense for putting him in a chokehold was he was posing a harm to people on the train when he's one out of a million, like I said, unhoused people and people with mental issues that come on the subway asking for help. If that 24-year-old Marine found him such a bother and so dangerous, he would have hated the A train, the C train,
right,
the D train, to like, you know,
New York in general.
If you're a
New York in general.
Exactly. If you're a New Yorker and someone is like on the train and directly bothering you, you change cars. You don't put someone in the train. People piss me the fuck off, but I go to the next train.
Why? Because we mind our business.
Exactly.
That part, because we mind our business. Like that's really about, that's the T on T. And I like, okay, they were first trying to say that like because he had mental issues and because he like got arrested, I think more than like 40 times or whatever, they were trying to use that as justification for his for him just blatantly being
which is what they always do. They did that with George Floyd also.
But no matter what he did, that still did not serve as a right for that 24-year-old Marine to do what he did with him. And my dad said this best: being a Marine, you knew that there was 100 different ways of restraining him. First of all, he didn't even do anything for him to even have to be restrained in the first place. So if you ask me, they should have did what normal New Yorkers usually do when they're on a train, and that's leave them the fuck alone. Don't pay attention. If you don't have anything that you could do to help them, don't pay attention. It's that simple. Or leave the car if you feel unsafe. Like I said, he's one out of a million people that are mentally ill and unhoused that are in the subway. I feel like there's another situation at hand, and that has to do with this city not having the proper resources and space to really treat these people.
I was gonna say I feel like that's kind of bullshit, because you know how commercialized New York City is, where it's like City of Dreams, Times Square. But recently, you know, I'm not gonna say the school, but a school in Coney Island just recently opened its gym to let Ukrainian refugees have shelter, which is good. But how come you open that up for the Ukrainian refugees and not the so many people of color who are homeless in the city, and you didn't give them a place to stay? But Eric Adams, by the way, Eric Adams was able to destroy so many of their own like camps and like the way they were able to try to have their little houses or some kind of shelter. He destroyed those. Why? Because he's a
This city needs to provide more resources and more care to people that are in these, you know, life conditions. When I think of people like him, it made it, you know, I have a disabled brother. I know what it's like to have a family member that isn't, like other people. It's more of a reason for why they should be treated with so much care. I cannot believe that we live in a world where him going on the train, doing what many people in his place do, resulted in him. Like, what the is that? Like, that will never sit right with my soul. That will never sit right with my soul. It won't. I guess there was some debate on social media on whether or not it was really like racism that played a part in it. Now, let me tell y'all something. I saw that disgusting ass video. And I'm not going to lie, when they did the close up on him choking him, it just gave that he was happy to do what he was doing. Like, it just, like, to me, and I told my dad, I was like, is it me? Or does it feel like he was getting a kick out of what he was doing? Like, for real, like, to me, it just felt like he was getting a kick out of it. And, like, so much things don't sit right with me, but I think he got charged with manslaughter and
which is bullshit. You should be charged with murder. It was
why someone, like, kind of died?
Yeah, like,
someone, like...
Exactly.
You did that in broad daylight. An entire subway station saw you. You did not let go of him.
I think that the argument that race had nothing to play into it is kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if he was a white man who was like on the train asking for help, would you have decided, I'm going to get my white ass up and choke him? No, you wouldn't have. You did it because he was black and because he posed a threat to you, which is what they always say. Watch in court. When he's in court and he has to testify, he's been, well, he was just approaching me and he scared me. I was scared. I was scared for my life. Shut the f***.
What is he, a Marine?
Yeah, I think
yes,
a Marine.
That's the point. He was a Marine.
You're a Marine being scared of one man coming towards you. Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel like if you're in that line of work, a man shouldn't,
like, exactly.
The one that's keeping you up at night, You're
a shitty ass Marine. If you saw a black man, you went, no, I can't.
No, literally.
We weren't there. You know what I mean? But how would you guys have felt actually being present in a situation like that?
I feel like I don't really know how to answer that question because I would say usually when I'm on a train and something happens, I would switch cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't want to sit here and also sound like some kind of like, oh, if I was there, I would have kicked his ass kind of person.
Right.
But I feel like I would have also tried to do something. You know what I mean? If I saw him in a chokehold, you know what I mean? Like, because there's no reason to have to resort to that kind of action. I would have at least said something, but I also don't know what I would have done in that situation. I could have been just like not knowing the situation and totally walked away, not knowing somebody was going to die.
Especially if you have somewhere to go and you're just focusing on getting to your destination.
Yeah, it would be more along the lines same for me. Like, as a New Yorker, if I'm on the subway, I have somewhere to go. I'm not just in the subway just to be on the subway. I have like things I need to do. So if I see an altercation, my first thought is like, okay, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to change to a different car. This is not my problem. But if it escalates to that degree, I would say the best thing I could do for the situation would be to record, Like, we always see situations where I'm like, oh my gosh, these people have their phones out, they're not doing anything, they're just recording. But sometimes video evidence could be the best piece of evidence. One of the only reasons why George Floyd got such justice,
the video,
if you call that,
you recorded, yes,
yeah, because someone recorded that. Word of mouth isn't as reliable as hard proof video evidence of someone doing an action,
especially when it's 1,000 other words a mouth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I feel like that's also an argument that people use to try to defend the murder. Like when Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd, people were like, well, if you saw he was getting you something. Well, if you saw in the video, Derek Chauvin literally threatened the people that were around them. So all they could really do was hold the phone up and be like,
and record, and that helped a lot.
If they didn't have the videos, I'm confident that Derek Chauvin would have walked off scot-free.
I just feel like everybody in this state is in kindergarten. If y'all want to really play kindergarten, let's play kindergarten. And I want to basically get like one quick message out that I feel like we should have all learned in kindergarten, and that's just be decent human beings and treat people
literally
treated. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, I'm hearing all these stories on the internet. I'm just like, what's wrong with just being nice?
Exactly.
What happened to that?
It's rocket science in 2023 America.
Some people are just rude, you know what I mean? But it's like word of thumb. Treat others how you want to be treated.
Can I get into something? This is my last topic before we play the game. How do y'all feel about all of these, the AIs? The AI
I was just talking about that today.
I feel like I have a lot to say.
You could say it.
It depends, you know what I mean? Because people demonize, in my school especially, people demonize chat GBT. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's going to make people cheat on their essays. And like, yeah, everybody's going to want to do something for free and not do work. That's just the reality of the situation and what makes us human. But I feel like it could also be a helpful tool. You know what I mean? Some people just aren't good essay writers, so they'll ask it to help instead of cheating. But AI art and AI photographs, that is where I find the problem to be. Because there have been, like, I've read like 3 cases of women on the internet, TikTokers specifically, saying that they've gotten like DMs of like random incels having AI generated nude pictures of them. And to me, that seems like revenge. You know what I mean? Like they're just on the internet, just being themselves. And then some dude or woman, I don't know, but some decided, I'm going to go to this AI website and post pictures of them nude that aren't true. And the whole problem is that you can't tell if it's real or not. You know what I mean? AI is just it's cool, you know what I mean? In an aspect, but it's like, it's so hyper realistic that you cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is AI now. And these women's lives are ruined because they have these fake nude pictures just all over the internet for no reason. Just because someone was like, I want to see what she looks like nude. And they took advantage of her like that.
For me, as a 3D art student, I definitely have teachers who, brought this topic up a lot. I have one in particular, I'm not gonna say his name, but he is a Python teacher, which is like a scripting teacher, someone who codes and creates websites and is really diverse in this field. He was saying that there's no way to avoid AI. It's the future. It's what we're going to have to deal with. So as 3D students, as digital artists, instead of fearing it, we need to learn to understand it, so that we can at least have some power over it, if any.
Right.
It is a both interesting and scary thing. Because like Monet said, it could be used in such disgusting ways. Right. People could take advantage of people. People could use it to, I don't know. I don't want to get into such dark things, but on the other side, it could be such a great resource to write essays or get art ideas, get inspiration. And it's such a gray field where it's one of the best things to come out of the new age and one of the worst things.
As a child, we all thought that by this year there'll be like flying cars and everything was gonna be, but I think that my dad was telling me about how, this society and just the world as a whole is really upgrading when it comes to technology. And I mean, it was expected, but sooner or later, there's going to be so much stuff that's going to be a part of this new age that we might not be used to. And I think AI is the beginning of that. Like y'all said, there's pros and cons to it. The pros is it could be a great educational tool and work tool and stuff like that. But then you also have the cons. Like I saw a TikTok about this mom saying that how she got a prank call, an AI prank call, and she thought it was her daughter that had like gotten kidnapped when her daughter was upstairs. Like that's some creepy shit, you know what I mean? That's really, and it's messed up and it's creepy. Like I also know that the music industry has kind of been like on its because there's been so much AI music covers.
I've seen like TikToks where it's like funny, SpongeBob and Mordecai singing a song. But there was this TikTok I saw of like somebody who made a Bad Bunny song featuring Rihanna, and that slaps. That song was
not gonna lie, they're really good.
Some of them are good though. I'm not gonna lie. Like Rihanna's version of Cuff It You know what I mean?
They're really good.
I see that Ariana Grande, Michael Jackson, and Drake are like the main targets for those covers. So like I will always see covers like Ariana Grande singing Trap Queen by Fetty Wap. You know what I mean? Like I saw something yesterday about Michael Jackson singing, I think it was Trap Queen. Michael Jackson singing Trap Queen. I was like, oh my God. Like, and I know some music industry execs have kind of like called the situation to light because, well, you know, if they're not making money from it, it's a problem. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I guess when people don't want to wait for their new artists to drop music, are they
especially you with Rihanna? You don't like
you know what I mean? Are we just gonna create?
This is compensation.
You know what I mean? Are we just gonna create some songs and like make it happen?
I feel like you know what I mean. It's kind of scary to like these artists who've built like their careers off of it, but like to the consumer, it's kind of like we find it fun and we find it cool that we can like just say, let's have Ariana Grande sing Frank Sinatra, for example, it's like kind of cool.
I just feel like I said, like it's a pro and con to it because I feel like there are going to be people that are going to use it in the worst way. And it's like, what are we going to do if like some really, really bad people get their hands on stuff like this like, and really trick us? You know what I mean? Like, I'm scared.
You said the thing about a prank call. Imagine if like telemarketers and robocalls are able to do that. So I pick it up thinking it's my mom and they're still trying to sell me car insurance.
That's so funny.
Like, okay, like for upcoming artists, I'm an upcoming artist, right? If I get a call and Beyonce's like, I want to sign you now, I saw you online, and it's really her voice. It's like, okay, it's one thing if people are just pranking, whatever. But if it's some AI shit and it's really her voice.
I would go into the streets and I would riot if I got a call from the Beyonce and it's fake.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that.
Of course, all that.
I feel like the AIs is just one out of many. New things that we're coming into for this new age. I know Claudia, shout out to Claudia. She's just upset that we're doing things so slowly. Like she feel like we should have already been like having flying cars and all of this now. Like she feel like we're kind of like coming into things so slowly. Like
we're also kind of dumb as Americans, you know what I mean?
We are.
We love to talk about how fucking educated we are, but we're kind of dumb.
Anyway, with that being said, I wanted to really dive into these topics because they were in for it. It also goes to show human depravity because you never know what extremes some human beings are willing to go to that could really affect other human beings, and these topics kind of fall in line with it. This is something that I will be getting more into in the next episode. I think we could close out with a game. All right, you guys. So we are in freedom. Oh, damn. I mean, scratching my eyes and all types of shit while talking. All right, you guys. So we are in freedom of, right? So like, you know what I mean? Allergy season. First of all, I was sneezing all day. Can we talk about it? I was sneezing all morning. Like I was trying to find.
Me too. It was annoying.
I can't stand pollen. Oh my God.
It was annoying.
At all. Like it's really ridiculous. We are in Freedom Fun. We are going to be playing a game that we played earlier in the season, and that is I don't know, the drawing game. I don't even know what the fuck we called it. I don't even remember.
Scribble.io?
Scribble O. Okay, Scribble O. That's what it's called.
Scribble O. How do we all have the same characters?
Did we all pick the same?
Is that a thing about us being black? Is that a black thing?
Oh my God. No.
Girl.
Out of all the options, we just picked green.
Out of all the
Of course, me with this face. Of course, me with this face, though. Can I change a color?
It's a 3-letter word?
A 3-letter word.
It's a 1-letter word.
What? Oh, W.
What the hell is it?
Douglas, what do we call?
Said you guess the word.
Let me see. What do we call that?
What do we call white people they want to say the N-word? And now just take out the extra G and ER.
Racist?
I'm so weak.
Come on, Douglas.
I don't get it. I don't get this. What is it? Oh, wait.
I
was trying not to be obvious.
Girl. That looked like a cell or like a nucleus or like something.
Oh shit, I gotta choose a word.
I was like, what is this? Like, what is this supposed to mean? I was about to say owl. Shit, I didn't know what the hell that was.
I was gonna say Cheerios, but now it looks like teeth.
Am I just a bad drawer? Am I just bad at this?
Is that
footprints?
No.
Is it calamari?
Yes.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Child. But the
wow.
But the
that's the squid.
That's the little tiny squid.
The squids that be okay. But
I just didn't know how to spell it, so I didn't write it.
I'm about to say, what type of feet have like 6 toes, 7 toes?
Did you put the word in, Nakaya?
Oh, how do I put that in? C-A. How do you spell it?
I'm about to say, girl, C-A-L-A-M.
A-M. A-R-I, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How do I Oh, okay.
I think you were just too late.
I don't know what the hell. Okay. Because I don't know why they gave what they gave. Okay.
Oh, wow.
At this point,
I'm still stuck. Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like so obvious. It hurts.
Can you let me say it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Black.
It wasn't letting me say it for a second. Okay.
Okay, Simone in the lead.
Okay.
Oh, it's two letters. It's a bed.
Yeah. But oh,
there we go.
I got it after you said, oh. I was like, wait, what? Oh. Oh, it's my turn. I'm done. Why the fuck did I do that? I shouldn't have picked that word.
Oh my god. Okay.
Wait, I need a reference picture.
It's okay. We got 100 seconds. That's how I put it. Because they used to do this like 60 seconds. And I was like, that's not enough time.
Okay. A big ass head and some big ass eyes.
So it's a character.
No. Yes.
Oh.
I'm not telling.
I don't know. I thought it was a ghost at some point. I was like, Casper. I'm gonna need some colors.
Oh.
Oh.
What's his last name?
Nakaya.
Last name?
Be for real.
I used to spell his last name.
Nakaya. Be for real.
Oh, Donald. I was okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, no. Hold on. Wait, no. Hold on. Wait, no. Hold on. There we go. Wait, no. Hold on.
Nakaya.
Right, there we go.
That's the ugliest Donald Duck I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know why. I thought it was Daffy Duck. I was gonna say Daffy Duck. Who's Daffy Duck?
But his last name is still Duck Nakaya.
Okay. I was waiting for the A and then said, "Oh," I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Word?
Yes, I did.
Oh, Daffy Duck is something. Okay.
It's a box. It's a box.
Okay, how am I going to draw this? Okay. Simone, are you going into my tab and actually?
I'm so weak.
No, I saw it red and I was like, bookmark.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, shit.
Because I was not getting that.
It's all right. We're black.
Okay, whenever it's your turn, next time I'll close out the tab to be fair.
I'm crying.
This one's good.
I knew right away for some fucking reason. I don't know why. I just did.
Oh, I thought too broad.
Girl, I was like, your imagination is a little too out.
I was like, sandcastle.
Your imagination is just a little too out there.
Oh, fuck. I kind of want to pick the hard one just because I hate y'all.
Period.
And I am, but I don't know what.
A lot of letters.
That's a lot. I hope it's like an easy big word.
Hold on. What is it? Okay, I got an idea. I'm not done yet. Why y'all get so quiet all of a sudden?
I'm concentrating. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, Simone.
I picked a hard word on purpose. I don't want none of y'all
going on here.
The illustration go crazy. Okay, Simone. Bear hat air glasses.
Well, she picked the colors for a reason. It must be for a reason. Is it a flag?
Yeah.
The flag's that.
I ain't no Barbados flag. I know that for sure, girl. I was like, what is that? Can't get it.
Who? Oktoberfest. What?
What?
I'm so confused.
It's like a celebration or something like that. It's like a thing in Germany.
Now, Simone, do me a favor. How the hell are we supposed to know some Germany?
Okay, I'm still on top. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Damn it.
I'm so confused.
I did it on purpose. I didn't want y'all to win.
We love you too.
Wait, how many words is that?
Letters. I thought I had it. Definitely did it. It's my fault. Sarah Lee? Who is Sarah Lee?
Sarah Lee sells the bread.
The brand?
The bread brand, yeah.
All right, Simone winning.
If I hadn't have picked Oktoberfest.
Girl, that but what was the drawing?
I looked up Oktoberfest. Hold on. I just looked up
all the keywords.
One of those images that was gonna like fit into.
And I just copied. You can't see it. Focus on me.
Maybe turn on the brightness.
I just drew that.
Oh my god,
That's something that
so funny.
Okay, when you drew the hat, I was immediately thinking St. Patrick's Day, but I don't know why. It was definitely St. Patrick's Day.
The sausage threw me off so much.
Oktoberfest, German sausage.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, Simone. But anyway, that was fun. That was fun.
That was fun. That was nice.
Fun. And y'all know I can't draw to save my life. So the fact that we got through that so cool, that was really cute. Thank you guys for joining this episode. It was fucking amazing. I'm glad that everybody got to see your faces once again. As y'all,
thank you for having us.
Of course, you already know the vibes. But tell Jasmine that she better get her ass on this, whatchamacallit, at one of these episodes. I am not playing with her.
I told Jasmine she needs to cook for us. She's been posting way too much good food on her Snap.
She needs to cook for us. Y'all, look. After this podcast, y'all, let me wrap up and then tell you one more thing before you go. Stay tuned for more to come. You guys know that these topics that we discussed were really, really deep. And we're going to get more into the bag on the next episode. With that being said, I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.